was sharing with one of my mighty men. Light recently dawned on him as I was talking with him. I was talking with him and I sensed that the door is opened. So I shared light where finances is concerned. And prior to the time we were talking, he used to tell me, say, he had something in his mind before. And he had another thing in his hand that could bring him money. But he never saw that it could bring him money. After light dawned on him, he said something to me, very, very interesting. He said, Pastor, if I don't have money in my hand, I know precisely what I did not do. You see that statement? It's a statement of behavior in the thousands. If there's a day that I try to do it and I can't do it, I can tell you what I did wrong. Just like Samson, the day he stood up, and he was supposed to shake himself. He stood up and he was supposed to shake himself. And he got up. And as he got up like this to go and fight, he noticed that the thing that used to rest on him has gone. If Samson puts his hand on his head like this, he can tell what has happened. That's mastery. You know, I've taught you. And the thing of the Spirit is mechanical. You can trigger it. If Samson, the day Samson stood up like this and went out to go and fight the Philistines, and they beat him, Samson will not be thinking what happened. He knows. He knows that, they don't baba me. They don't baba. I told him, I said, imagine that you carried 3 sweets. That's all you had. And you had already called customers. And they've told you, bring 3 sweets. These 3 sweets, when you bring the 3 sweets to us, this person, that person will buy, each person will buy not a pair of sweets, a seed of sweets. Each person will buy sweets. I said, when you get there, have there been times when you've got there, and instead of 3 people, 2 extra people entered the room and said, I want sweet. He said, yes. Pastor, this thing you said is true. I said, so there's something that you are missing. One thing about God is that, if you notice all through scriptures, there's only one time we've seen the nakedness of God. Once. Prior to that time, after that time, is when Jesus showed up. I'll explain. What most of us want is that we want God to bless us. But think about the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus asked, what do you have? Because you see, what God doesn't want, God doesn't want us to carry an empty tray. And as we stand before people, food appears. As we stand before people, food appears. As we stand before people, it's an empty tray. But as we stand before people, food appears. That's not what God wants to do. That would be too naked. What God likes to do is that God likes to hide himself. Do you remember how he says that? You look at the treasure. The treasure is hidden in earthen vessel. So what God wants is that the man would go with 3 sweets. So when he takes the 3 sweets to somebody picks 1 sweet. When he goes to the next person, the person thinks that it is still 3 sweets that are there. If you ask this one, it's 3 sweets that they saw. If you ask this one, it's 3 sweets that they saw. If you ask this one, it's 3 sweets that they saw. If you ask this one, it's 3 sweets that they saw. Everybody knows him as a 3 sweet seller. But they are wondering, how is he able to do the things he's doing? It's because the one who doesn't like to be naked has joined himself with his 3 sweets, such that every time someone takes one out,
yes, sir,
without us knowing, another one is replaced. So you went, let me say your business is that you're a barber. You go to cut hair for people. And you have called your clients. You and your client have agreed, maybe 4,000 naira because it's home service, or 5,000 naira because it's home service. You have a deadline. You have a goal to get 30K for today. You need 30,000 naira because of what you want to do. That means that the guy has said 5K, but you only have the plan of meeting just him at home. That you're going to cut hair for just one person. So in your mind, I'm only going to get 5,000 naira at the end of today. When I'm done cutting him, I must enter into the streets to go start talking to people, to start begging people to help me. But before you left your house, because you're engaging the system of God's increase, and God wants to hide himself inside. So you already told your friends that I'm going out to go and cut hair for one person. But as you go to that one person's house, he made a call. He had called and expected his friends to show up. As you were cutting hair for the one guy, two friends entered. And as they entered, this one just said, well, now just be like people who don't smoke a bowl like this. Sure, you know, go cut hair. Say, sure, this your guy good. Say, this my guy, now world class, so forget that thing. And then the guy tries to hype. Before you know it, this one has finished. You've said, bring your head. You've cut this other one's head. This was happened. It was one person's head you had in mind. You've cut the second person's head. Then you've cut the third person's head. Then while you are cutting these other two, somebody else that passed by the room was hearing clipper. He said, "Omo, I think say when I don't start one kind of work for you. Waiting they stop. Say, I want to. This guy they cut it. Sure you good like that. Make I try you out." Somebody else will pass and be like, my barber, they vex me. Barber, they vex me. Before you know it, in that one place, he is working. No. If you ask him, the money didn't fall from heaven. But it is just 3 sweets he carried. Yet when he comes back, he will come back with a profit of 30 sweets. It's like the young man who carried 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish and brought it to Jesus. And Jesus took it and blessed it. What everybody would have seen is 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But as they broke it to people, as they kept on breaking it, because God doesn't want to operate naked. If you ask everybody, it's 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish that they brought. But between God and the people who collected it, they know that it is not 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish everybody's eating. God has hidden himself inside. When you go out to work, you are expressing faith. Have a seat. When you go out to work, you're expressing faith. I will do my part, but I know you.
Yes, prophet.
That day, Peter and his boys went to go and catch fish. They had toiled all night. They didn't cut anything. Yet when God came, he didn't change the system and say it's not work. That you are laboring without results does not mean that labor is wrong. Jesus did not come and say, okay, don't worry, I'll cause fish to fall from the sky. No, Jesus sent him back to work. Sent him back to work. Say, go back inside there. Say, go inside for a great catch. Peter wanted to first argue. Peter said, Master, we've toiled all night. He said, but nevertheless.
That's your word.
And so he went. And he threw his net. But God who likes to hide. Bible gives an account. They caught fish, the net broke. Caught fish, the net broke.